thought we'd do a little video putting together an FM receiver kit that I purchased from AliExpress. I paid £2.97 for this kit. That gets it delivered as well. I think I waited maybe 3 or 4 weeks for it to arrive. So let's have a quick look. So it's an FM receiver and the frequency is from 76 up to 108 megs. Let's see what's inside. Well, that didn't go too well. And just tip the components out. Oh, that's lovely. All empty. Got a really nicely printed circuit board. It's marked quite clearly as well. And volume up and down, seek, perfect. It's extremely small. I don't know if my soldering skills will be up to the task, but we can try. Other components we got, some resistors, just lay them all out. I've noticed that there's no diagram really. There's nothing in here as to the location of the components other than just what's on the board, other than what's on here. Okay, I guess we can give it a go. These will be the small switches for the volume and the seek. Yeah, headphone jack, an LED, transistor in there, a couple of diodes. Yeah, okay. There's actually a little jumper and header pins on there as well. Some ceramic and electrolytic capacitors. Oh, and there's a really small crystal. That is absolutely tiny. I definitely think I'm going to struggle with my eyes on this one. I do have a little magnifier there. I could maybe just, it's one that you wear over your head, just to give you a little bit more. I don't have any electronic type of magnifier or anything like that. I'm trying to decide where would be the best place to start. Maybe get some of the small components out of the way first of all. That chip would probably be a great one to get on there. So let's give it a go. Let's see what we've got. This is absolutely tiny. I can barely pick this up. I think probably what the best thing to do would be maybe tack a corner on. Let's see if we could get one of the corners on first. Okay, that looks not too bad. I think I'll bring over some solder. I think I've maybe got that one side down. Just move it into place. ever so slightly high on the pads, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Oops. I'm going to just give that a quick clean. We can almost start again. Okay. Got a little bridge in there, I'm not too worried about that little bridge. I'll clean it up at the end. I'm sure there's probably lots of people out there that are fantastic at soldering, have amazing soldering skills, screaming at the TV right now, saying what on earth are you doing? Are you butchering that up? I just like to give things a go. Wouldn't say by any means it's going to be pretty to look at. This is just a hobby. Okay. Might just put a little bit of flux on that one just to get that little bridge away. Maybe just to reflow them. We can always clean it back up at the end. Oh dear. Definitely going to need some wick for that one, I think. Put a little bit too much on there. Yeah, we're going to need to get the wick on there. I'll clean that one up a little bit. Okay, so I've given that just a little clean up there, just using the wick. I think I'll just put some IP on there and just clean it up so far. Just got a little toothbrush. Yeah, okay. Looks a little bit better. Chip is slightly more to one side, as you can see. But it's on. Okay. What I think I'll do is I'll maybe just populate some components on the board. And then I'll just cut back in and back out, maybe just populate a few. Then we'll solder them up and just see how far we can get. Okay, so I've put the pin header on there. I'm not actually sure why this needs a pin header. It'll be interesting to find out what that's for. I've popped a few diodes in and I soldered in that transistor. Then I noticed on the underside of the board, it gives you a list of the values and the components, which is quite nice. Although they've not given you any instructions, the board is easily identifiable to what's what. So we'll go ahead and solder in these diodes. I've seen someone with a trick once, and what they do is they put a little bit of like blue tack just on the components on the other side to hold them in place. So However, I don't have any blue tack handy, so I'm just going to bend the legs over and just solder them up, and then hopefully that will keep them in place. I get the feeling I could have probably used a better tip than this one. And this is maybe quite handy for like larger solder joints and things, but we'll just keep going. I say my soldering skills are not amazing or anything like that. I'm just giving it a go. And at the very end, what I could do is I could just put a little bit of flux on the board and just go over and clean up the joints. And I've just shot all the way over the room. That's fine. Might as well take these off as well. Okay, so that's the two diodes in place. Pin header, that's definitely sitting a little bit squint. I'll probably just reflow them again just to get that pin header, because look, it's sitting really off at one side. I'm thinking maybe what we should go with next. I think the buttons, these being quite big, they would probably be better going in last, so I can work inside the middle. What I'll do is I'll just populate a few more, come back, we'll solder them back up again, and we'll just keep going. We'll get our little radio project kit on the way. Okay, so I've put the two electrolytic capacitors C1 and C2, and on the back C1 and C2 100 UF, and the negative side has got the little stripe on it there, if you can see that okay. I've put in two resistors, R3 and R4, just around that same area. So R3 and R4 is 10k. I noticed that they won't lie flat on the board, so I've maybe just given them a bit of an angle at one side, and once I've soldered them up I could probably bend them. They're far enough away from the pin header that I don't think they'll cause any issues. Once again, just not having any maybe blue tack or something to hold these components there. So we'll just go ahead and we'll solder them back in. As I say, right at the very end I can always go over and tidy any of the solder up. So I'm just giving it a go, just having a bit of fun. Okay, that's those two done. See if we can catch those resistors. Eyesight is definitely not what it used to be, that's for sure. Okay, I think I may need to have to cut a few of those legs out of the way. I think I'll just do that. I'll just clean the tip up on that iron. Let's just get the snips and get these out of the way. Yep, that's cleaned up nice. There we go. Let's just snip those leads away. Definitely not going to win any beauty contests. Oh, that one's popped up. Trying this is where I'll end up burning my fingers. See if we can just pop it back down. The board's it's soldering on the top and the bottom, so I think it's going to be a little bit tricky. I need a little bit more heat. That's really quite awkward to get into that one. Let's try again. Oh, there we go. That's definitely got it. Maybe see if we can get the other leg as well. Yep, and I did catch my finger there. I definitely feel that one. Right, okay. That seems to have got that. So maybe just populate a few more components. We'll come back, get them soldered up, get that done together. We're getting there. Okay, so I've tidied up just a little bit. I hate mess. I don't like mess lying around. So I just tidied up. And this is where we are so far. Popped in these last few resistors. Just popped them in their place. As I say, they won't lie flat on the board, so I've had to stand them up and fold the legs over. This is the last two resistors that we've got there. I'll just clean out a little bit of IP up there. I'll give the board a good clean at the end. Let's see if we can pick that up, put that in that little bag. Keep all the rubbish neat and tidy in one place. Okay, so we'll solder up this last two resistors. We'll get those done. We're not that far away from, we'll maybe move on to the capacitors next. Get those put in place. The IPA, it's really sticky. It's turned the board very, very sticky. Oops, I've just put a small bit of solder in one of the switches. I need to clean that off with a little bit of wick. Probably making this look really extremely awkward. Like I say, just giving it a go. Just giving it a try. Snip off these legs. I'm wearing the head magnifier, so everything is huge. Everything looks absolutely gigantic. It's really the IPA, maybe it's the IPA and the flux together, that's gone really sticky. Okay, they're not too bad. That's them in place. What I'll do is I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to populate the capacitors. There's 3. What we got here, so it's we'll have well, we've done C1 and C2. They were the 100 UF, so we've got C4, C3, C4 and C5. The C3 and 5 is 104 and C4 is 33. And these will be the 104. So what we'll do is we'll just populate those onto the board, get them soldered up. Then what we've got left, I think that's an inductor, that one. We've got our LED. Oh, that crystal, we'll need to get that on soon. Now, where does that go? That is tiny. I'd like to catch that before I end up running out of room on the board. Okay, It looks like the crystal goes on Y1. Yeah, that looks like where that goes. Right, okay, let's get all these put on there, come back, get them all soldered up, and then there's not so much left to go. Okay, I've added a few more components. We've popped the capacitors on, 104s, the 33. I popped the inductor on there, down here, and I thought we'll get that crystal on as well, so I've popped that little crystal in there. So I will give the board a little clean at the end. Yeah, my soldering skills probably leave a lot to be desired, but I'm just giving this a go. If you're very efficient at soldering, you're probably looking at this thinking, oh my goodness, that looks horrendous. It might not be the video for you. Okay, so what I think we should do is maybe populate the switches or the headphone jack. The LED, we'll need to get that on the right way. The LED is here. LED, I'm sure the long leg is the positive, the longer side. So if the legs have not been cut, that's the positive side for the LED. Let's have a look and see how these switches go. Okay, they seem to fit quite nice. They're a nice snug tight fit. We'll just pop these in. And they look okay. Oh dear. My hands are still quite sticky. I probably should wash my fingers. The flux, as I say, in that isopropyl alcohol, it seems to have made my hands sticky. There we go. What was that one? Volume. Then we've got one more here. Oh, the legs are slightly bent on this one. Let's see if we can just pop them back. I mean, for less than £3 delivered, and just a project, just to give you something to build, have a bit of fun with. It's quite neat and tidy. It's quite a small board. I never bought this with any real intention of use, just to build it, just to do a bit more soldering. But now that I've, almost completed it, I'm thinking maybe it would be nice. Maybe I could get a Bluetooth board. Maybe I could build a small Bluetooth board and then use it with a radio and output to Bluetooth. Maybe use a Bluetooth speaker or something like that. Right, okay, we're getting there. We'll maybe just run the soldering along here. See if we can get these all put in place. Soldering cable's just catching some things. The solder station I'm using, it's got the soldering iron and it's also got like hot air. I see this, I just have these mainly just a hobby, just a bit of fun. Starting to get to the edge of that board. Just work our way back down. And the last pin. I noticed a little bit of solder there. There we go. That ain't looking too bad. Okay. Just check that they're flush down to the board. They all look quite good. What we got? An LED. Pop that in the hole. Maybe just bend the legs just to keep it there. Quickly just pop that in as well. Okay. We'll just snip these legs away. Pop them in the little bag, keep all the rubbish together. Just me always tidying up as I go along. The headphone jack, okay. Well, that fits in there beautiful. Right, I think maybe try and bend those legs ever so slightly. I may need to try and hold this and tack one of these pins in. See if we can maybe get this one here. Put quite a... Oh, that was perfect. Lovely. Okay. Almost there. Perfect. So we just have the battery. Really unsure of what this jumper, little jumper there. Obviously the pin headers. And it operates on 3 volts. Okay, what I think I'll do is I'll just give the board a little tidy up. I'll put some IPA on it, use the toothbrush, clean it up, see what way I'm going to manage to mount this. Could be nice if maybe I could, maybe if I've got a little bit double-sided pads or something, we could put a little double-sided pad on there, stick it on. I'll work it out just a little bit. Let's give it a little clean up and then we'll come back, put the battery on and see if we can give it a test. Okay, we've popped the battery. I wasn't really sure how I was going to finish it, so I can always change it or stick it on the back, or let's pop the batteries in. Pretty sure I'm going to need this for this pin header. Well, that's the wrong battery. It's double A's, there we go. That's a bit tight. Oh, we have lights. I'm just going to try that maybe there, or... Oh, headphones. Here's an old pair that's come with an iPhone. Oh, I can hear that. Yeah, that's definitely... What was it? Volume. Is that one Seek? Lovely. Yeah. Perfect. Volume down, that works. Power off. Perfect. Back on. Oh, it's keeping the memory station as well. It's remembering where you last were. Please just bear in mind, this is just a bit of fun for me. I'm not amazing at soldering. You probably just witnessed that. It's just a bit of fun. If anybody wants to give it a go, buy one of these little kits and build them up. Maybe just as a hobby, starting out. I'm really happy that worked. First time as well, that's... Oh, I wonder if that jumper does actually... If I pull that jump... Ah, yeah, it stopped. Okay, so there's nothing there. Nothing there. Yeah, I can hear that again. That's that come back. Perfect. Okay, so it needs a jumper. So the jumper is in the middle. Lovely. Perfect. Well, that was a result. Maybe I'll buy a little Bluetooth adapter and maybe we can turn it into a little Bluetooth radio and maybe use a little Bluetooth speaker as well. That's amazing. Well, if you watched this far, I absolutely applaud you. Just tipped all that mess out. Perfect. What a way to end it. Well, have a good day. Hope you enjoyed that little video. I say that was AliExpress, that little radio kit came from. There's the model there, just in case anybody wants to buy it and give it a go. It was less than £3 delivered. I had a bit of fun with it.